This is PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube.
Our top stories. Nigeria records oil win as it meets OPEC June Quota. And new terrorist alert as Turkiye warns Nigeria of FETO terrorist group. All this and more on PSN Newsrun. We begin with major wins as Nigeria recorded an important milestone in its oil sector, meeting and slightly surpassing its OPEC crude oil production quota for June, with an average daily output of 1.5 million barrels.
Nigeria has successfully met its OPEC oil production quota for the month of June, reaching an average daily output of 1,505,000 barrels per day, slightly above the required 1.5 million. This marks a significant milestone for the country, which has struggled in recent years with oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and underinvestment in its energy sector. The achievement signals improving production stability and stronger compliance with OPEC's output agreements, which aim to stabilize global oil prices. For Nigeria, this is more than just a technical win. It's a step toward restoring investor confidence in the nation's oil and gas sector. Meeting the target also means increased oil revenue, a crucial source of income for the federal government, especially at a time when the naira remains weak and inflation continues to bite. Experts say if Nigeria can maintain this level of output, it could boost foreign exchange earnings, improve fiscal balance, and enhance the country's ability to fund key infrastructure and social programs. While challenges remain, such as aging infrastructure and security risks in oil-producing regions, June's performance is a positive sign that Nigeria's oil sector is stabilizing and gradually regaining momentum. Tessa Phillips, PS News.
Still on the oil and gas sector, in a push to making cooking gas more affordable for Nigerians, Aliko Dangote has announced plans to slash LPG prices and sell directly to consumers if distributors resist the price cut. Here's Ella with all the juicy details.
The president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has announced a bold move to reduce the price of liquefied petroleum gas, commonly known as cooking gas, across Nigeria. The plan, he says, is to make the product more affordable for the average Nigerian, especially those still relying on firewood or kerosene for daily cooking. Currently, the price of cooking gas ranges between 1,000 naira and 1,300 naira per kilogram, a cost Dangote describes as unsustainable for most households. Speaking during a tour of his Lekki refinery, Dangote stated that his company produces around 22,000 tons of LPG daily. He warned that if gas distributors refuse to adjust their prices downward, Dangote Group will bypass them and begin direct sales to consumers. This move carries significant economic benefits. A drop in gas prices would not only reduce household energy costs, but also encourage more Nigerians to transition from harmful fuels like firewood and kerosene. This shift would help lower indoor air pollution, reduce deforestation, and cut health-related expenses. From an economic perspective, greater LPG adoption can boost productivity and lower business fuel costs, particularly for small enterprises that rely on gas for operations. Experts say switching from solid fuels to LPG could save Nigerian billions of naira in healthcare costs and environmental damage over time. If implemented, Dangote's plan could offer major relief to Nigerian families and serve as a turning point for cleaner, more affordable energy nationwide. Ella Okechukwu, PS News.
And now, on security matters, Nigerian troops have eliminated approximately 150 armed bandits in a joint military and airstrike operation in Kebbi State, marking a major breakthrough in the fight against rural insecurity and kidnapping in the Northwest. Joycelyn is on the security desk.
In a major offensive against rising insecurity,
Nigerian troops have killed around 150 armed bandits during coordinated military and air operations in Kebbi State, northwest Nigeria. The successful operation targeted heavily armed groups involved in a series of violent attacks, including kidnapping, cattle rustling, and raids on rural communities. The military said the strike was part of ongoing efforts to dismantle criminal hideouts and restore peace in the region. Air surveillance and ground troops worked together to ambush the gangs in their forest camps. This comes as kidnapping for ransom has surged across northern Nigeria, with communities increasingly living in fear. Defense authorities described the operations as a significant victory, noting that large quantities of weapons and motorcycles were also recovered. The government says more operations are planned as part of a broader security crackdown to curb rural violence, protect civilians, and restore confidence in national security forces. Reporting for PS News, Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada.
Meanwhile, the Turkish government has raised alarm over the presence of the Fethullah terrorist organization FETO in Nigeria, warning that the group's activities pose a serious threat to national and global security. Let's join Joycelyn for more security talks.
The Turkish government has raised serious concerns over the presence of members of a terrorist group, the Fethullah terrorist organization known as FETO, in Nigeria, warning that the group poses a global security threat. The alert came from Turkiye's ambassador designate to Nigeria, Mehmet Poroy, during a dinner in Abuja to mark Democracy and National Unity Day, which commemorates the failed July 15, 2016 coup attempt in Turkiye, an incident the Turkish government blames squarely on FETO. According to the Turkish authorities, FETO is the armed wing of the Gulen movement, a transnational religious and social organization founded by Turkish Islamic cleric Fethullah Gulen, who died in exile in the United States in October 2024. Gulen's followers were once close allies of the Turkish government but have since been accused of orchestrating the 2016 coup attempt, which left over 250 people dead. In response, Turkiye launched a massive global crackdown, shutting down FETO-linked institutions and freezing billions in assets. While the Gulen movement denies involvement in terrorism, Turkiye designated as a terrorist group, and international bodies like the OIC, GCC, Pakistan and Northern Cyprus have officially followed suit. Ambassador Poroy revealed that FETO is actively operating in Nigeria, particularly in education and healthcare sectors. Turkish authorities allege that these seemingly harmless activities are used to recruit, indoctrinate, and infiltrate national institutions of host countries. Emphasizing that Turkiye has dismantled many of FETO's international networks with the help of allied nations, but added that new arrests and investigations are still ongoing globally, a sign that the group remains resilient and dangerous. Though the Nigerian government has not officially designated FETO as a terrorist group, Turkiye's warning suggests that Nigeria could face long-term risk if the group's operations are left unchecked. He said the risks include infiltration of government and educational institutions, radicalization or ideological influence through schools and NGOs, strain on diplomatic relations with Turkiye, a strategic international partner, possible security threats if the group extend beyond soft power operations. Turkiye is urging Nigeria to remain vigilant, review affiliations with FETO-linked organizations, and prioritize national security over humanitarian appearances. As Nigeria continues to combat internal threats from groups like Boko Haram, IPOB, and banditry, experts warn that ignoring the FETO alert could open another front in the country's already complex security landscape. Reporting for PS News, Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada.
And now, sadly, former President Muhammadu Buhari has been laid to rest in his hometown of Daura, Katsina State, following a solemn military burial attended by top government officials and family members. Once more, Joycelyn takes us through this journey.
Former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has been laid to rest at his home in Daura, Katsina State, in a solemn ceremony marked by full military honors and deep emotion. The interment, which followed Islamic rites, took place in the courtyard of his residence on Monday evening. At exactly 5:50 p.m., the late leader's body was lowered into a narrow grave in line with Islamic burial traditions. The graveside service featured a military parade, a symbolic 21-gun salute, and the presentation of the national flag to Buhari's family. The only son of the late president, Yusuf Buhari, was overcome with emotion, visibly shaking during the final moments. Due to limited access, hundreds of locals gathered around the premises, many climbing trees just to catch a glimpse of the ceremony. General Christopher Musa, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, read a moving tribute detailing Buhari's years of service to the nation. The Chief Imam of Daura led the final prayer at a nearby makeshift prayer ground before concluding the rites at the graveside. Among the top dignitaries present were President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima, both of whom paid their final respects and offered condolences to the bereaved family. The national flag, which had draped the former president's casket, was handed over to the family as a symbol of Nigeria's gratitude for his leadership and service. Muhammadu Buhari served as Nigeria's head of state in the 1980s and as a democratic president from 2015 to 2023. His burial in Daura marks the end of a long chapter in Nigeria's political history. Reporting for PS News, Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada.
And on the international scene, Israeli scientists have discovered that insects can hear distress signals from plants, revealing a surprising new form of communication in nature that could reshape agriculture and pest control. Tessa Phillips is on the international desk.
A groundbreaking study from Tel Aviv University has uncovered that plants and insects may communicate through sound. Researchers found that dehydrated tomato plants emit ultrasonic distress signals, and female moths can actually hear them. The moths, which typically lay eggs on tomato plants to find their larvae, were presented with two options: a healthy plant and another playing recorded sounds from a stressed plant. The moths consistently avoided the noisy one, preferring the silent, healthier plant. The study, published in eLife, is the first to show that insects can detect and respond to plant-emitted sounds, even though they are inaudible to humans. The research was led by Raya Seltzer and Guy Zer-Eshel under Professors Yossi Yovel and Laila Kadani. This discovery opens new doors in agriculture and pest control, suggesting that sound could play a vital role in managing crop health and insects' behavior. Scientists believe this is only the beginning of understanding how widespread sound-based communication may be in nature. Tessa Phillips, PS News.
And on sports, 35 countries arrived Nigeria for the third Under-18 and Under-20 Confederation of African Athletics Championship and transfer updates across European clubs. Sam is reporting from the sport desk.
Nigeria is once again in the continental spotlight as 35 African nations converge in Abeokuta for the third edition of the Confederation of African Athletics Under-18 Under-20 African Championship. Latest arrivals, Algeria and Morocco landed Monday night, joining a growing list of countries including South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Ghana and Egypt, all set to compete at the MKO Abiola International Stadium from July 16th to 20th. With excitement sweeping across the whole city, Nigeria has activated full-scale logistics from transportation to accommodation to ensure a smooth and secured event. Cultural displays and local performances have also set the tune, with visiting delegations already participating in traditional dances and celebration. The competition promises to showcase Africa's brightest young talent and strengthen continental sportsmanship. Colombian winger Luis Diaz could be on the move this summer, while Liverpool turned down a €67.5 million offer from Bayern Munich and fended off interest from Barcelona in June. Both clubs remain in direct contact with the scam and are expected to return with an improved offer. Despite the Reds' desire to keep theirs, the player is reportedly open to a departure if the right proposal satisfies both club and player. Spanish giant Atletico Madrid are maintaining strong interest in Nigerians Ademola Lookman, Africa's reigning footballer of the year. Talks have resumed even after the club acquisition of Thiago Almada, with Lookman price tag still being negotiated. The Atlanta forward is seen as a key attacking reinforcement for Diego Simeone's upcoming campaign. Liverpool appear ready to make a bold statement in the transfer market, preparing a record £120 million offer for Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak. However, the Reds face a major hurdle. Newcastle have consistently maintained that the Swedish forward is not for sale. Unless the Magpies reconsider their stance, the deal may remain out of reach for now. This is Samuel Akban, reporting for PS News.
You just watched PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube. This is your trusted voice for news that matters. Subscribe, like, share, and stay informed.